Congratulations on being inducted into the California Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Now, I will be speaking on behalf of my sister, who's the inductee, Malissa Sherwood.
Oh,
Right. She couldn't make it. She passed away about a week
I'm
ago.
sorry.
Yeah, no, thank you. And so she tried her very best to be here. Had a long, hard battle with cancer, and lost
sorry.
it just before she fought to the very end. But so
Well, it's nice to have you here representative. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're a close knit family, and
Yeah.
I'll try to do my best to answer all these questions.
Okay. I have some questions here. Of course, you know that. But the first one is, what individual had the greatest impact on your sister's career?
I would have to say, if it was any wrestler, it would be a mix between Gable and Schultz, Dave Schultz, and yeah, so it'd be a mix between those two. And so I couldn't really define one or the other for her, but that's who that would be.
Who was the wrestling idol that you followed growing up?
That one I'm unsure of, but I would probably venture to say it'd be those two. Yeah, she followed them very diligently.
What personal attribute that did she have that contributed most to her success?
Her resilience and her toughness. She's just very tough. She's very resilient, and she had a lot of struggles growing up, and she persevered through all those. And it's almost like she had a chip on her shoulder. She needed to prove people wrong, right? She was one of the first girls. She was the first girl in the history of her high school at the time in '95 to wrestle. They even said that, hey, we're not going to let you wrestle. You're a girl. And she had a whole bunch of stuff she had to go through, eating a swim cap and permissions and things. And so, yeah, hopefully that kind of, she just had to go through a lot of that, and she just kept on fighting, and nobody could tell her no. I'm going to prove everybody that I'm gonna get through this, and she did very well. And yeah,
What is the most outstanding memory she may have had about her career in the sport of wrestling?
I would say passing on her knowledge, being a coach. Yeah, she coached at a couple different high schools, and passing, and there was girls at those schools at that time within the last 5 years, and that was probably her most memorable thing in the sports, just passing on that knowledge and her fire and different moves, and that was one of her passions.
Throughout her wrestling career, did she ever talk about a memorable match or an event?
Yeah, she had several matches with Shannon Williams, and they were the same weight class. And yeah, Shannon always had her number. Always had her number. So her sister would get second places at tournaments that Shannon wasn't at. Yeah, so there was that. So those were always memorable for her. A couple different national tournaments she's at, and outstanding wrestlers and things. So yeah, those were a couple.
What made her get involved in the sport of wrestling?
My sister was always a tomboy. She just loved rough and tumble things, and she did all the running and scraping the knees. She played men's football for the high school, went out for wrestling. She just, some of the football players were kind of saying, you'd be pretty good at wrestling. And so then she tried to go out for wrestling, and
Wow.
they told her no, but then she went home crying, and she came up with the idea of wearing a swim cap, got permissions from everybody that she could, and off and running, and ended up beating some of those boys. Yeah, I think she, just one article I read, she was 12-10 that year, freshman, sophomore year in high school, and I mean, she beat some boys,
Well,
so it was pretty cool. You know,
what do you think if she had the opportunity to do it again? Do you think she'd change anything in her, experience through the wrestling world?
I think that she would have probably wanted just to travel more, and her career was cut pretty short because just different injuries. So she would have liked to have fight through those injuries better, you know, but they were pretty debilitating.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So unfortunately, but as for
What
anything
do you-
getting changed, no,
yeah.
I don't think so.
What do you think she would want people to remember about her?
Hmm. Her sportsmanship, such as like, you're my enemy on the mat, and I'm gonna be fierce and I'm gonna go at you as hard as I can, but you're also gonna be my best friend off the mat.
Yeah.